That works. Namaste, friends. Okay. System check here. See how I want this to look. Oh, that's pretty cool. And that's what we're going to do. And a little chanting. Om Shanti Matyai Namaha Samapa Shanti Matyai Namaha Shanti Matyai Namaha Om Shanti Matyai Namaha Namaha Shanti Matyai Shanti Matyai Namaha Om Shanti Matyai Om Shanti Matyai Om Namaha Namaha Om Shanti Matyai Namaha Om Shanti Matyai Namaha Shanti Machai. Om Shanti Machai. Om Namaha. Om Gananantva Ganapati Gung Havamahe Priyanantva Priyapati Gung Havamahe Nidinantva Nidipati Gung Havamahe Vaso Mama Aham Jani Garbhadamat Mamajasi Garbhadam. Okay. All right. Good morning. Good morning, Stephanie. And all, as Stephanie mentioned, good morning, all. And this is my new home for Saturday morning live streaming yoga. And just got a little too cold up there at Shivalaya Temple and Retreat Center for yoga up there. And so this space that I'm in right now is Maha Yoga or Maha Soul Yoga Studio in downtown Littleton, Colorado. And they have this beautiful space. I mean, they have a whole nother studio on the other side, big. And actually next weekend, we start a yoga, believe it or not, a yoga teacher training program right here next weekend. And so that's going to be thrilling to start teaching in a YTT again. So I'm really happy about that. And thanks for joining this morning on the stream. I Illuminated Insight Yoga, Ram versus Ravana. And so this is a new moon. As we know, it's a new moon in Libra, which is balance. We like that idea initially. And it sets off a really potent time of the year, a potent season with respect to some of the more classical teachings of yoga, and some of the mythology would be a way to put it. And there's this great mythological story around Ram, Sita, and Hanuman. We know there's a pose in yoga asana that's called Hanuman asana. But this time of year is the devotion to the divine mother, actually. So the divine feminine energies. And so the chant that I was chanting, Om Shanti Matyai Namaha, is invoking the energy of peace through the vehicle of the divine mother. So when one chants the Yai, the Y-A-I, it turns the energy into a, if you will, feminine quality. And so for this season, I wanted to start with, that energy of peace as invoked again through, the divine mother aspect. And so really, really powerful. But with that said, in northern India, they celebrate this time of year by honoring the story of the Ramayana. And the Ramayana is, again, that Ram, Sita, Hanuman story. And it ends in 9 days with this thing called Vijayadashami. And that is Ram's victory over Ravana. Ram's victory over Ravana. And then on November 14th, we have another festive time, and that's called Diwali, and that's the ceremony of light. And that's where Ram returns to Ayodhya to claim the kingdom, and this is where the divine claims its kingdom of righteousness, if you will. And so right now we're in the battle of Ram versus Hanuman, or not Hanuman, Ram versus Ravana, because Ravana stole Sita from Ram, which Sita was Ram's wife. And archetypally, Sita represents the individual self, the individual jiva, our individual soul self. And Hanuman represents the energy of devotion to Ram that finds Sita. And Ram has to go into, if you will, battle with Ravana. And Ravana is considered the demon king, but actually Ravana is what's called the ahamkara, and that's the universal ego. The universal ego. And if you kind of replay, say, the last month, and I'm going to keep stitching this together, of the idea of karma, what we're dealing with karma is unseating our individual samskars, our identifications, and all the things, that are producing, the material thought and emotion. And that's all the ahamkar. All of that is the ego, every bit of it. Babaji, my teacher, said, every thought's origin is from the ego. Every thought. And so kind of the rewiring of, say, a material mind to a spiritual mind is resolving your karma, or resolving, the ahamkar, the ego. And it's this process, if you will, if you don't want to use the word battle, but the process of the divine light reclaiming its station by overcoming the samskara, the karma of the ahamkar, or the ego. And so we're always in Ram versus Ravana, right? And what I would say is that here you are coming to your yoga practice on a Saturday morning. That's the energy of Hanuman. That's the energy of devotion that you have to your practice, that's helping, your self-care, your self-evolution, your self-actualization, your self-healing, right? And so that's what we're going to work with today. Again, in another way, just respinning that same story. But how we'll look at this today is always invoking, say, what is peace in you? So that Shanti Matyai, what is peace in you, as filtered through the divine feminine, right? And what's the sense of presence in you, and also devotion, right? And so, great, everyone. I think that's about all. Put a little shout out of hello out there. And yeah, I think that's about all. So happy new moon in Libra. Happy start of, it's called Navaratri. That means the 9 nights worship of the Divine Mother, or the worship of the story of the Ramayana of Ram, Sita, and Hanuman. Good morning, Eric. And it leads us through this passageway, and it really is. We're in a passageway right now for the next 28 days, until the 14th of November, the next 28 days, we're in this passage of reclaiming the kingdom of light, So good morning, Sam. So I honor, all of that, really. So I'm going to slip back into my little abode, my yoga mat, and Maha Soul Yoga Studio 2020. Yeah, bring it on. And So just take a moment here and do some deep yogic breathing, and so the technique, as we've learned, is we initiate the inhale into the belly, and then the ribs expand, then the chest lifts and expands. Then we pause for a moment and then exhale all the air out of the body, and then pause at the bottom of that exhale. We offer this asana to the divine. We join in this cosmic hour through the energy of Hanuman, the monkey king, who is devoted to Sri Ram, who opens his chest, and the image of Ram and Sita, the great spirit and the individual jeeves stand side to side, reunited in the heart, if you will. And we courageously enter into um, the conflict, the actualization of our own egoic self, our own karmic ways, our own samskara ways. And we invite through that devotion an energy of divine light as a companion and as a healer, a transformer. Mm-hmm. We'll chant a couple of ohms here, and then chant the Shanti Matyai Namaha a couple of times, to honor Navaratri and our new moon. And so exhale the breath completely, and then take a nice big inhale here. And again, another nice big inhale. Om Shanti Machai Namaha Namaha. Om Shanti Machai Namaha. Om Shanti Machai Namaha. And one more. Om Shanti Matyai Shanti Matyai Namaha. Om Dasharathaya Vidmahe Sita Balabhaya Dhimahi Tano Shri Ram Prachodaya. Om Anjaneyaya Vidmahe Mahabalaya Dhimahi Tano Hanuman Prachodaya. the next 28 days, we'll be in this field of really kind of present cosmic, cosmic power at this time of the year. It's interlace the fingers here. You can open the eyes if you have it. Maybe slip any seated support from underneath you. So just ground the sits bones and then inhale. Take the hands and arms to the sky here. Just reach real tall. And then take a nice big inhale. And exhale, float the hands and arms down, round the low back, rock back on the sacrum. And so, yeah. And then gently inhale, float the hands and arms back up. And exhale, float back down. And just continue this rhythmic movement of breathing and, of course, lengthening. Just moving and breathing here. And then begin to kind of discover, if you will, first the energy of devotion. So we'll meet here at the top. So just kind of feel maybe the commitment that you have to your practice and the things that way, and recognize the inlay of the kind of devotional heart there as well. Big inhale and float the hands and arms down. Shoulder height here, right palm turns up, and then just twist the upper arms in opposite directions to kind of free up the shoulder girdle. Breathe in. Going into that. And then we'll just swim the arms here a little bit so the joint capsules become free. And then as we move, allow for kind of a subtlety in your movements and allow that almost, if you will, that kind of more, if you will, feminine quality to come through. Even if you're a guy, let that kind of come through. And then neutral position, rotate the wrists forward, invite the fingers to participate so the forearms get a little bit of a stretch. Just kind of feeling into that. So it's just more subtle, more supple, more intuitive, if you will. Big inhale and eagle arms, exhale the right arm to the left. Forearms, palms come together, elbows out and up, shoulder blades down the back. Let the head get a little bit of a stir here. Yeah, because it's the time of Libra, and I mean, if Libra represents, balance, if you will, then it's like orienting through also the masculine and the feminine qualities, the dark and the light. And so, sweep hands and arms wide. And that's, the conflict, if you will, between Ram and Ravana. Switching left under the right here is Ram is the divine light. Ravana is considered the demon king, or the darkness, and mythologically speaking, it's the divine conscious aspect, and the human ego or the world ego. I feel it's bigger than just the individual ego. Neutral with the head here, inhale, float hands and arms wide. Exhale behind you, interlace the fingers. Breathe very deeply here. So we're in this time of balance, and certainly, we're imbalanced ultimately. I mean, if we were balanced, then we would be in, the illumination of our sweet divine self. And release. We grip with the hands and then extend the right arm out. Left palm turns up, inhale, float arm up, exhale over. Just breathe very deeply. So nice stretch in the side body. You can kind of ground this left knee a little bit. Heart spins open. Feel into that. And then check this out. Big inhale and exhale. Reach the arm forward and over to the right. Oh, just feel into that. And then ground it on the earth here. And then just breathe into the belly. So let the back ribs of that left side kind of expand. Oh, yeah. And then gently reach it forward, forward, forward. And then just kind of float it, hover, a little hoverboard over to this left side. Right palm turns up, inhale, float arm up. Exhale it over the head and just breathe deeply again. Now a little grounding, say of your right knee. Stay with the breath. Yeah. Breathe it out. Oh yeah, and then a nice big inhale. And exhale, reach the hand forward, forward, forward. And then once again, just ground it on the earth with the fingertips. Breathe into the belly here. Ooh. Right out. And then gently reach it forward and sweep it all the way over. Then to this right side, the palms turn up, and then inhale, just float the arms up. Twist to now the right here, releasing that left hand on the outside of that right knee, right arm behind you. Extend front spine, grow tall, breathe deeply here. Loving into that. Oh, a little release in my back. Mm-hmm. And then firmly grip this right knee with your left hand. Release the right arm up and over the head so it looks like this. Kind of lean back into it a little bit. Oh yeah, and then a nice big inhale and exhale. Just soften to neutral, all the way to neutral. And then palms turn up. Inhale, take arms to the sky. And then we spin now to the left, pirouetting, twisting. And that right hand on outside left knee, left arm behind you. We lengthen the front spine. So then we kind of include in our movement something that is more subtle. And that subtlety develops intuition, if you will, because the requirement to be subtle, grip firmly the knee with the right hand, left arm up, is presence, right? So really to be subtle in experience, we have to kind of sustain a really refined sense of presence, and that eventually develops into intuition, because we're always in the field of trying to feel or trying to perceive. It's just advancing the capabilities of our being, really. And then big inhale and exhale, gently soften to a neutral position. And one more of these. So interlace the fingers here, extend the arms up, and then arch into the upper back. So really allow the shoulder blades to work into the back ribs. Breathe deeply. Take the gaze up now. Feel into that upper thoracic stretch. And then nice big inhale. And exhale, just float. The hands and arms down by the side. Let the knees draw up here. So a little different start for our practice today. Just take a moment, release the knees, and then move a little bit forward out of the sun that's coming through. There's a couple windows here. Really love this room. And then extend the legs out. And then first we'll come into Dandasana. We know this is staff pose, so the hands stack under the shoulders here, like so. And then inhale, just take the hands and arms to the sky. Breathe very deeply. Go into that. And then just lean forward a little. Like for me, it doesn't take much. And then all of a sudden my hamstrings are kind of pinging at me pretty early. And they're just talking already. And then gently release the hands to the shins here, like so. And then as we've talked, just kind of grip the shins firm. Isometrically draw the hands towards the hips. So kind of pull the head of the femur bones into the acetabulum. Lengthen the front spine. So I'm not rounding at all. I'm not collapsing. I continue to stay, if you will, energetically extended. And I'm just breathing deeply, allowing for the hamstrings to just slowly let go. Very nice. And then gently just inhale, come on up to neutral position, and then we'll come into our tabletop position. So just spin around here, make your way into tabletop. And then just take a minute and circle the hips, say in a clockwise fashion, just to kind of unravel, the hips a little bit. Just feel into that. And move freely, of course. So any kind of additional kind of movement or sensation that you'd like to, express, it's all good here, Yeah. So nice. Oh, whew. And then neutral position, and then the tabletop. Little twist here. So ground the left hand under the face, and I'll take the right hand to the sky. Give the wrist a little bit of a spin. Breathe very deeply here. Yeah. Deep breathe in and a nice big inhale. Then feeding now this right hand through on the inside of the left shoulder and ear, forehead, whatever, maybe to the mat there. Hips to the right to seal the twist. And just breathe. And love into that. Uh-huh. And a nice big inhale. And then an exhale. This left hand underneath you, and I'll take the right hand to the sky. So we reach here. And then gently we'll switch. So ground the right hand, of course, and they'll float the left arm. Reach up, up, up. Feeling into that little spin of the wrist, a big inhale. And then floating, left hand through on the inside of the right. Shoulder and ear to the mat. Right hand reaches top edge of the mat. Hips to the left. Mm-hmm. Hips to the left. Breathe in. Ah. Mm-hmm. And then a nice big inhale and exhale. This right hand back underneath you, ground it. And then inhale, float. Oh, that left arm back up to the sky. So I'm going to spin around here and face y'all. Extend here the right leg out to the right leg. So pretty familiar territory for us. And then we'll just let the hips drift back. And then the elbows bend. We come onto the forearms. So a little high hamstring, inner groin, stretch sensation. And stay with the breath. Yeah. And again, just inviting just very subtle qualities of movement and breathing, really reflecting on being, attached to the present moment, versus the future, the past. Yeah, and then just gently come to neutral ground. This now left hand and take the right hand. So another twist here, yeah. And then big inhale and exhale. Float the hand and arm down, and then just sweep this right foot. So a figure four on the outside of the left knee, like so, toe stuck under like that, or the top of the foot. And then we just bow down again. Yeah, bowing down. And then just breathing here. Stay with the breath. And then gently we'll come out of this and switch the sequence. And so draw the left leg out to the left side here, toes point forward. I'm going to kind of move away from the sun a little bit, and then hips drift back, and then just bow into it again. Yeah, breathing. Yeah, waking that up. And then just gently come to neutral. It's interesting, at some point in practice, it seems like we come into a relationship with stillness or silence. It just feels really good, And a big inhale and exhale, float the hand down. And then this left foot on the outside of the right knee. There's that figure four again, and then just bowing. Yeah. And that's really where all that yoga is in that silence, that stillness, field of perception, a place where the ahamkar, where Ravana, the ego, is just not around, And so downward facing dog, when you're ready, down dog. Yeah. Breathe deeply here. Any movement or anything, to navigate sensation of the body is fine. Again, just meet any of that with kind of an equal-minded feeling or idea. Just, no need to qualify it. There's been enough of that. Yeah. Just be the observer, the one who, activated by stillness. Yeah, lift the heels here, come up on the tippy toes, the heart sink, hips are lifting. Breathe in. Oh, yeah. And then gently release the heels back towards the earth. And a little bend the right knee. Ground the right hand, stretch left calf and Achilles. Feeling that. And then straighten and switch. Yep, feeling that. And then coming into neutral position. I appreciate your endurance. I'm right here with you. Just being peaceful. Shanti Matyai Namaha. Oh, Goddess Mother, the one who's enjoined and peace, we offer our salutations to you. And then let's bow into child's pose. So knees to the earth, hips to the heels, hands release to the feet or ankle area, just relaxing. And then just gently we'll come to neutral. We'll meet back in down dog. And Adho Mukha Svanasana, down dog. And then forward folding, so walk the feet to the hands here, forward fold. Take a moment. And then Ardha, half lift. Tail to crown lengthen. And we'll bend knees, cactus the arms, and then flat back to standing so we reach all the way. Arms over the head, reach real tall. Here. And then hands to prayer here at the heart. Take a moment with that. I'm just going to adjust camera angle a little bit. And then take a moment and allow for an intention to flow in. And we're going to do moon salutations here. And honoring, the divine Shakti, the divine energy, and it's that energetic quality that organizes everything in our karma. And so take a moment and just feel into intention, the Sankalpa. Yeah. And just gently open the eyes here, and then we inhale. We'll float the hands and arms over the head, take the gaze up, and just kind of this inspiration or aspiration. Reach really tall here, as tall as you can. Yeah, and then nice big inhale. And exhale, a little bend in the knees, and then just hinge at the hips, folding forward. So there's that forward fold. Hands release, chin tucks, and then inhale, flat back here. And then exhale, fold and bend the knees, and then send the left leg back into the lunge. Ground the left knee onto the earth. This is where maybe having some padding under that left knee might be helpful. But when you're ready, float the hands and arms to the sky. Let the palms face forward here. Breathe deeply. Kind of lift into the upper thoracic. Keep the core active, so belly button to the spine. Feeling that. So there's that inspiration or aspiration again, coming through. Big inhale. And then exhale, hands release down. And then the right knee meets the left knee, like so. And then we inhale, stand on the knees, and just float on up here. Core's active, belly toned. And inspiration. Yeah, nice big inhale. The exhale, we come into child's pose. So just carefully kind of float down, use the core to kind of manage your descent. But the arms stay extended here, forehead to the earth. And just breathe into the belly. Yeah, and then just gently we'll inhale, float forward, and we'll pivot onto the belly, making our way into Bhujangasana. So just come onto the belly here. Yep. And then when you're ready, hands ground, back muscles activate. It's just kind of a baby cobra. Feeling that. Oh, yeah. And then a nice big inhale. And exhale, draw down, tuck the back toes under, lift the hips, and pivot back into child's pose. So we'll come out the same way that we went in. So, like what you're feeling is a more subtle kind of start to our practice, more yin oriented versus yang. Yep. And then inhale, come to stand on the knees, the hands draw back towards the hips, and the arms go over the head again. Keep the core active. You can kind of lean back into it. And then a nice big inhale. And exhale, hands to prayer. And then we slip the left foot forward. And just sink into that like so. And then inhale, reach the hands and arms to the sky. And just breathe very deeply. So really focus on presence, subtlety, kind of intuitive perception. Pratibha is the word for that. Feeling versus thinking. Right? No ego, no Ravana, no Hamkar. Big inhale. And exhale, folding forward the back footsteps to the top of the mat. Forward thing. Yeah, breathe here. And then gently flat back to standing. Arms reach over the head. Palms come together. Gaze goes up. Reach. Big inhale. And bring that into the heart center. And then feel, right? Thumbs to the bottom part of the sternum. Feel inside the chest cavity. And that's where you'll find Ram and Sita. And that little prayer with the hands comes from Hanuman's mom. She's called Anjani, and this is called Anjali Mudra. And so it was Hanuman's mom that invoked the devotional, prayer. Yeah, and then just gently inhale, float hands and arms to the sky, reach real tall. And exhale, hinge, folding forward at the hips, slow forward fold, and then send now the right leg back into the lunge. Let the right knee release to the earth here. Maybe a blanket or so, arms float. Once again, sink into this front leg knee. You can lean back, so we're really peeling open the front of the body, hip flexor, all the, biomechanical stuff, of, Prithvi Sarira, so the earth body. Yeah, and then nice big inhale. And exhale, release the hands down either side of front foot, and then left knee meets the right knee. You just step back, and then inhale, float, hands and arms to the sky, reach in again. There's that aspiration. Maybe bring your intention back into the fold here. Breathe deeply. Yeah, nice big inhale, and then exhale, gently float into child's pose. So just gently float down. Breathe in. And then inhale, we'll pivot onto the belly again. Bhujangasana. However you navigate getting there is fine. And then inhale, floating up, maybe a little higher angle with the torso, so a little more, information for the front of the body and the back. Breathe deeply here. And then a nice big inhale. The next, I'll just gently lift the hips and let the hips drift back into that extended child's pose position again. So, Balasana. Breathing into the belly. And then gently, come to stand on the knees. The hands and arms reach to the sky. So reach up, 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 up. Once again. Oh, yeah. And big inhale. Exhale, hands to prayer. And then gently step now that right foot forward. Sink into the front leg knee. And then inhale, float hands and arms again. Breathe very deeply. Yep. And then a nice big inhale. And exhale, back foot steps, rolling forward, Uttanasana. And here at the top of the mat. And then inhale, flat back to standing, elbows lift, core is active, reach palms together, gaze up. Really cool. And then heart center. Take a minute, let the eyes close. Bring your awareness into the abode, of Ram and Sita. And then just as a feeling, let the head bow a little bit. So just let the chin release and just let the inner gaze fully develop here. And then gently lift the head, open the eyes, inhale, sweep the hands and arms to the sky. And then exhale, hinge at the hips, folding forward. We'll bend the knees, and then we'll send that left leg back again into the lunge. And knee drops again, gently releasing here. And then inhale, float hands and arms to the sky. Yeah, and when I did my advanced teacher training thing, we had like a thesis that we had to do at the end of the program. And I did my thesis on pranam. That was my subject. And pranam means bowing. That's what I did my kind of whole thing on, was the art of bowing. A nice big inhale, hands to prayer, and then exhale. Twist to the right so that left elbow is on outside that right near thigh. And then just breathe here into the belly. Stay with the breath. Oh, yeah. Then a nice big inhale. And exhale, gently release the twist here. Hands plant. And then inhale, straighten the front leg. Toes pull up. Then exhale, bow over the extended leg. So pranam, bowing. Really nice. And just breathe here. And then gently bend the front leg knees, step the hands forward, and then open this right knee to the right. Take the right hand to the right knee, like so. Take a minute there, and then float the right arm. And just breathe. And then put a little bend, and say that left knee, and capture the foot or ankle, a little stretch of the quad. Yep. And a nice big inhale. And exhale, gently release the foot here. Hand plants, and then now the right knee meets the left knee. And we stand on our knees again. So back into that aspiration. Breathe very deeply. Again, just allowing for presence and subtlety, more yin energy to fill you. Nice big inhale. And exhale, we'll bow, pranam, into child's pose. Really subtle. The art of self-giving, selflessness, surrender, all of that. Yeah. And then gently inhale, pivot forward into front of the belly, and cobra pose. And then inhale, float on up, a little higher this time again. And then look to the right and just breathe deeply here. Really deep breath. And then a big inhale. Exhale to center neutral. Look left and breathe very deeply here. Yeah. And then inhale, center neutral. And exhale, float the torso down. Hands ground. And then inhale, lift the hips. And then exhale back into child's pose. It's really easy. And then inhale, come to stand on the knees. The hands and arms reach to the sky. Stay with the breath. Nice big inhale. Exhale, hands to prayer, and then slip this left foot forward now. bend into front leg knee, hands and arms reach to the sky. Going into that, nice big inhale. Exhale, hands to prayer, and then we twist now to left right elbow on the outside of your thigh, sinking armpit to knee, breathe into the belly. Oh, yeah. And then nice big inhale. Exhale, gently release the twist here, hands plant. Inhale, straighten the front leg, toes pull up. Exhale, bow over the extended leg. Very nice. And then bend front leg knee, the hands step forward, ground. Keep the toes lifting of that left foot, left knee opens. Heart lifts, pelvis sinks, right hand grounds, left hand, left knee. So twist open and then float this left arm. And a little bend of the right knee when that feels appropriate. A little stretch of the quad. Yeah, 11. Subtlety and presence. And a nice big inhale. And exhale, gently release the grip of the foot here. Hand plants, inhale, breath. And exhale, the back foot steps to the top of the mat. Just take a moment here. Core tones and flat back. All the way to standing reach, real tall here. Gaze up. Hands to prayer. The heart center here, and just bow the chin and let your inner gaze drift behind the bottom of your sternum and reuniting your individual jiva with your higher self, or the higher self. Yeah. Nice. And then one last side here of Chandra Namaskar, moon salutation. Inhale, reach hands and arms to the sky. Exhale, hinge folding forward. Send now the right leg back into lunge, right knee ground. So just move and breathe here for one last round. Inhale, float hands and arms up. Exhale, hands down on the either side of the front foot. Left knee meets right knee. And then inhale, stand on the knees, arms reach to the sky. And exhale, bow into child's pose here. So just moving and breathing, obviously. And then inhale, pivot forward into cobra pose. So one nice big inhale is in front of the body grounds, torso lifts. And exhale, hips back into child's pose. So just gently float back. And then inhale, come to stand on the knees. The hands and arms reach to the sky. And then exhale, hands to prayer at the heart. And then slip the right foot forward. And then inhale, reach hands and arms up. Then exhale, back foot steps, folding forward at the top of the mat, And then inhale, reach all the way to standing, all the way up. And then exhale, hands to prayer at the heart. Really nice. Take a moment here. So let's we'll move into chair pose, Utkatasana. So bring the feet together, and then inhale, float hands and arms to the sky. And then exhale, bend the knees. Just take a minute here. Let the knees be supple. And then a nice big inhale and exhale, float the hands behind you. And then interlace the fingers behind you. So roll the shoulders a little bit. That can be a lot. Just take a moment there. Breathe deeply. And then inhale, release the grip of the hands, straighten the legs, reach to the sky. And exhale, bend knees. Inhale, your breathing. Exhale, float the hands behind you. And then inhale, sweep hands and arms up, straighten legs. Exhale, bend knees. Inhale, breath. Exhale, float the hands behind you. And then again, inhale, sweep. Exhale, bend. And we'll just hang out down here. Take a moment. And then bring hands to prayer. And then we'll twist to the right. So left elbow on the outside of the ear, thigh sinking armpit to knee. You can float the outside up, left hip back, right shoulder away from right ear. And then some of you may want to open the arms and fly, reach a little deeper into it that way. That's fine. And then a nice big inhale. And then exhale, hand down, look down. Then inhale back up into Utkatasana. Yep. And then hands to prayer. And then we'll twist now to the left. So right elbow on the outside of the near thigh. Open up in the heart space. Right hand reaches earth, possibly left hand to the sky. Stay with the breath. Oh, yeah. And a nice big inhale. And exhale, hand down, look down. And then inhale back up into Utkatasana. Breathe here. You know what's happening. And then inhale, reach to the sky. Stand. Exhale, hands down by your side. Step the feet, the hip width distance apart here. Take a moment and just feel into that. Breathe deeply. Come back to a sense of ease here, integration. Oh, yeah. And gently open the eyes here. If you're closed, inhale, float hands and arms to the sky. Exhale, swan dive, fold forward. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold, bend the knees, plant the hands, step back into high plank, high push up here. Take a moment. And then float the right leg, hip height. And then take a nice big inhale. And exhale, right knee, right elbow. Give a little squeeze. And then inhale, leg behind you. And exhale, right knee, left elbow. Squeeze. Inhale, leg behind you. And exhale, gently release the leg down. And then we'll switch. So float the left leg, hip height there, pause. Nice big inhale. And exhale, left knee, left elbow, squeeze. And then inhale, leg behind you. Exhale, left knee, right elbow, squeeze. Inhale, leg behind you. Exhale, release the leg down. Inhale, your breathing. Exhale to the knees here, all the way to the belly. Let the hands come wide a little bit onto the fingertips. A little different form of cobra. And just inhale, float on up. Let the shoulders move away from the ears, the shoulder blades down the back. The chin is going to tuck just slightly here. Feel into that. A nice big inhale. And then exhale, float down. And then again, inhale, float on up. And exhale, float down. 2 more times. Inhale, float on up. Exhale, float down. Last time here. Inhale, float on up. Oh yeah, exhale, float down. Let the hands draw under the armpits here. Tuck the back toes under. Inhale through high plank, high push up. And then exhale, lift the hips back into down dog. Yeah, nice. So inhale, float the right leg hip height there initially. Pause there. And then take the leg higher. Let the hip naturally spin open. Work the foot straight to the sky initially. And then bend that right knee. Track the foot over to the left. And then inhale, straighten the right leg, right foot, right hand, left heel pivots down, come to standing, warrior 1. Breathe in here, take a sec. Yeah, and then bend the elbows, let the heart flourish here. And just sustain, again, this sense of devotion, subtlety, intuitiveness, and big inhale. And exhale, float the forms towards one another. Yeah. And then inhale, open. Exhale, pulse. And then again, inhale, open. Exhale, pulse. Stay with me here. Inhale, reach the hands to the sky. Exhale, float them behind you. Interlace the fingers. Inhale, lengthen front spine, grow tall. And exhale, bow the torso on the inside of this right leg. Stay with the breath, hands and arms over the head. Breathe in. Yeah. Then exhale the breath completely. Inhale, reach the hands and arms to the sky. Exhale, hands to the waist. Inhale, straighten the front leg. Exhale, pivot 180 degrees. Switch your stance back into warrior 1. We have to step that right foot out though. Hips squaring. Then inhale, float Hands and arms to the sky when you're ready, or if you're ready. Breathe in. Yep. And then the elbows bend so the heart flourishes here. Nice big inhale. And exhale, forearms draw towards one another. And then inhale, open. Exhale, forearms. And then again, inhale, open. Exhale, hands to prayer. And then inhale, reach to the sky. Exhale, hands behind you, interlace the fingers. And then inhale, lengthen. Exhale, bow torso. Sink in. Oh, yeah. Breathe in. And then exhale the breath completely. And then inhale, reach hands and arms to the sky again. So reach real tall. And then exhale, hands to the waist. Inhale, straighten front leg. And exhale, pivot 180 degrees back into warrior one. So right foot is forward, hands to prayer thou. So peace warrior stance. So Shanti Matyaya Namaha. For a moment, we'll come into warrior three, Virabhadrasana 3. So release the back foot, point the heel to the sky. That squares the hips. Really important. And work the weight into this right leg when you're ready. And just reach forward, straighten that front leg, lift the back leg, and then body down, leg up. Stay with the breath. Then hinge deeper in the hip crease, folding forward. Hands to the right ankle, the floor, forehead towards the shin. Breathe in. Oh, yeah. And then careful bend the knee of the standing leg knee. Release the back foot down. And back into peace warrior stance. So hands to prayer. Heart. Nice big inhale. And exhale, hands to the waist. And then inhale, straighten front leg. And then pivot again 180 degrees. Back into peace warrior stance. Take a moment there. And then release the back foot. Point the heel to the sky. Step it in. Warrior three. Same thing. This side, work the weight in that front leg, lean forward. And just straighten the front leg. And lift the back leg. And then body down, leg up. So parallel to the earth. Breathe in and then bend deeper into the standing leg knee, forward folding, hands to the ankle or the floor. Catch a wobble. Stay with the breath. Oh, yeah. And then a careful bend in the standing leg knee. Release the back foot down, back into peace warrior stance. A moment there. Breathe deeply. Yep. And then a nice big inhale. Exhale, hands to the waist. You don't have to go too far. Inhale, straighten front leg. And then pivot 180 degrees. Now warrior two. So we realign the front foot forward. A little longer stance, heel arch aspect. Ground big toe mounts, each of the feet. Inner thighs then squeeze together. Core naturally tones here. Arms float. Stay with the breath. Really put a little energy even through the fingers here. And let the palms turn up, we know. And then inhale, straighten front leg, reach the hands and arms to the sky. And then exhale, bend front leg knee, hands and arms float shoulder height. Again, palms turn up. Inhale, reach. Exhale, float. Last time here. Inhale, reach. And then exhale. Keep this left arm by the left ear, bend in the front leg knee, right forearm, my thighs to extend at that angle. You can see I'm moving my upper arm, so I'm externally rotating the upper arm bone, grounding that left big toe mound a little extra so I can get some, length into the side body here, and then straighten the right arm, sink a little deeper into the form. Stay with the breath. Oh, yeah. So nice. And then draw this left hand to the sacrum like so, and just open up into the heart space. Keep that back leg quad firm though. Yeah, exhale the breath. And then inhale, straighten front leg. And then right arm over the head. So you can just slip this left hand down the left leg. So open up. Just standing sequence. Love it. Yeah, big inhale. Exhale, hands and arms, shoulder height, thumbs to the sky, Trikonasana. Pose, big inhale, triangle pose. Exhale, float forward. When the hip stops moving, just tip. Keep big long lines of the body here. Gaze possibly to that left thumb. Breathe in. The Utthita part of it is drawing this left arm over the head towards the front and find this big line of energy from the big toe mound to the left foot through the fingertips of the left hand. Heart opens. Yeah. And then Ardha Chandrasana, half moon. So bring this left hand to the sacrum, bend front leg, knee, step the back foot in, plant the front hand in front of the front foot, floor, maybe block if you have it. And then just straighten that front leg, lift the back leg. And then rinse, ready, float this left arm up. Stay with the breath. And we're ready for this next one. Bend that left knee, capture the foot or ankle with the left hand. Little squeeze in, then kick the foot into the hand. Just open up into the heart space. Then a careful bend and then stand leg knee. Release the back foot down. We meet back up into warrior two. Breathe deeply. A nice big inhale. Exhale, hands to the waist. And you'll straighten the front leg. And then pivot to switch. Right foot in, left foot turns out. Bend front leg, knee, core stays active here. Arms float, shoulder height, so that warrior two position again. Then palms turn up, and then inhale, straighten and reach overhead. Exhale, bend. And again, inhale, straighten, reach. Oh yeah, exhale, bend. And then one more of these. Inhale, straighten and reach. And keep right arm by the ear, bend left knee, left forearm, left thigh, extend the sun angle. And then again, ground, big toe mound, right foot, fingertips, right hand, heart spins open. Going into that, yeah. And then straighten left arm, sink possibly a little deeper. You feel that? And then bring the right hand to the sacrum, palm turns down, heart keeps opening here. Breathe in, and then we'll reverse warrior, straighten front leg. The left arm over the head, right hand slides down the leg. We just reach. A lot of space here. Big inhale. Exhale, arms, shoulder height, triangle prep. Trikonasana, thumbs to the sky. Big inhale and exhale. Just pivot forward, reach, reach, reach. And when the hip stops moving, you just tip. Open here. A lot of space. Stay with the breath. And then the Utthita, extending this right arm over the head. Oh yeah, just reach. And then Ardha Chandrasana, half moon. So right hand to the sacrum, bend front leg, knee. Step the back foot in, plant front hand in front of front foot, straighten. Front leg, lift the back leg. Breathe here. And then bending the knee, capturing the foot or ankle. A little stretch of the quad. And kick the foot into the hand. Just open up into it. Stay with the breath. And then a little careful bend of stand leg knee. We reach back down into warrior two. So just move arms, shoulder height. Nice big inhale. Exhale, hands to the waist. Straighten that front leg, pivot the left foot in. Take a moment here, wide-legged angle forward fold, Prasarita Padottanasana, big inhale. And exhale, just hinge at the hips. You're folding forward. Hands can release to the earth. Head floats down. Take a moment there. Oh, yeah. We'll come into a little twist here. So inhale, flat back. Ground the left hand under the face. And then inhale, take the right hand to the sky. Feeling that. Breathe deep. Nice big inhale. And exhale, release. Right hand down. We'll switch. So we're on right and float left. And then gently release down. Inhale. Half lift. Exhale, hands to the waist. Inhale, flat back to standing. And then gently just step the back foot to the top of the mat. Nice. Take a moment here. Oh, yeah. And then a big inhale, sweep hands and arms up. Exhale, float down. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. And then send the left leg back into the lunge. Ground the left knee. And so hands to the heart. So this is Anjani Asana. So mother of Hanuman. And feel into that. We're just going to kind of flirt with Ardha Hanuman Asana. So ground the hands here. And then straighten the front leg. Pull the toes up and just bow. And then bend the front leg knee and then just crawl the front foot forward a little bit. Feeling into that deeper sensation in the hip, that right hip. And then straighten the front leg forward towards the shin. So the pose of Hanuman leaping over the Indian Ocean is what this is, from mainland India to Lanka, Sri Lanka. Just kind of feel into that and then straighten the leg again. A little deeper. And then crawl the foot forward one last time, let's say. You can feel into that. And then just straighten the front leg. Oh, yeah. And then just gently release this foot back, plant the hands, and we'll transition here. So let the left foot step forward. So just simple little transition that way. Can be a little clunky, and that's all right. Sink into this front leg, knee, hip, releasing, and then straighten the front leg, bowing. And then sink again, and then crawl the foot forward. So we're just creating a little longer stance where the back foot can move back. And then straighten the front leg again. So again, Hanuman Asana. So this is Ardha Hanuman Asana, so half Hanuman Asana. I can do full Hanuman Asana, but I don't feel like it right now. I haven't worked with this Hanuman Asana for a little while. Yeah, and then straighten the front leg, bowing. And maybe one more go around. Feeling that. And straighten and bow. Really nice. And then we'll meet back into downward facing dog. So just kind of wiggle your way out of it, plant the hands, and we'll meet in down dog. Oh, yeah. Let the hips really reach up and back. Shoulder blades ground onto the back body here. And then release the knees to the earth. And then the hips to the heels, the knees together though. So let the knees, the thighs draw together as much as you can. And then you may want to check this out. I'm just going to do a quick little demo. We're going to come into what's called Shashangasana, and that means rabbit pose. It may be familiar for some. But from this position, I'm going to capture my heels with my hands and get a pretty firm grip. Release the forehead to the earth, and then just inhale, float the hips up, and hold on to the heels really firmly. There's very little pressure in the head or neck. And then just breathe into the upper back. And that's Shashangasana. So we'll give that a try together. When you're ready, grab the heels here. Release the forehead to the earth, feel into that, and then just lift the hips here. And just breathe. We'll be here for just a moment. Righto, and then gently release the heels back to the earth. Float the torso up, and then we'll spin around and come to a seated position here. And, that's one little simple little twist. So bend the right knee, draw the foot towards you, and then float it up and over the left. And then hugging this left elbow crease into the right knee or leg, and then sweep this right arm behind you, twisting to the right. You feel. And then you may want to draw this left arm up and over, maybe even straighten the arm. Looking the ribs a little bit out of the way. Breathe here. Stay with the breath. And nice big inhale and exhale. We'll gently counter out of this. So I always love that counter pose. And then come onto the forearms here. And then just breathe into the belly. Yeah. And then gently we'll just walk the hands towards the hips to come out of, extend the leg. And then we switch. So draw this up and over. Sit tall, elbow crease to knee, sweep left arm behind you. Extend it, breathe into the belly. Maybe float the arm up and over the leg or straightening it even. Stay with the breath. Yep. And a nice big inhale. And exhale, we soften out of it. Pivot all the way around, forearms. And breathe into the belly. And then gently walk your hands back towards the hips here. Extend the left leg. And then kind of lean forward a little bit. Come onto kind of the front of the sits bones. Feel that. And then just take the hands and arms over the head. Float halfway down. Release hands to the shins. Again, the front spine is staying extended. So I'm sitting tall versus collapsing into the front body. Breathe deeply here. Breathe into the hamstrings. Let them soften. It's very yin quality, intuitive. Always kind of navigating a sense of presence with experience and presence with emotion, mind, kind of fabric of the being. Hopefully there's a sense of peace that's preeminent in your big inhale and exhale. Just now we can round here. Head releases, hands reach forward. Breathe deeply. Yeah. And then belly to the spine, gently inhale. Walk the hands up the legs here. And I'm just gently going to spin around. And we can all come onto our backs here. Just gently make your way to your back. Oh. Hands and arms over the head. Nice. And hug the knees into the chest. A little hug. Rock side to side. Let's come into Viparita Krani Mudra. We know this is our inversion, reverse posture seal. Hands ground, get a little float with the feet, lift the hips. Coming onto the shoulder girdle. The body creates a V shape here. Hips release into the hands. Where it's just so nice. Gently come out of this little bend in the knees, the hips release from the hands release down, and just carefully release the hips to the earth here. Let the feet draw the width of the mat wide. The soles of the feet are down. And then just gently let the knees draw side to side. So the feet are flat, width of the mat, knees draw side to side here. Yeah. And hug the knees last time. And extend the legs for Shavasana. And then, we'll do our breath retentions here now. So gently, when you're ready here, palms turned up and things, exhale the breath completely. And then take a nice big inhale and hold the breath in. And gently release your breath here, exhaling. And one last one of these. So exhale the breath completely. Take a nice big inhale. Hold the breath in. Pooch out your belly. Then gently exhale your breathing. Just kind of settle in here. One is invited to fully let the body first, just let it relax. You may breathe into any places where there's holding or things. And then allow for more of a surrender to come through. Just gently awaken into awareness. It's very lightly held, though, that sense of perceiving awareness. There's a sense of clarity and even purity in that. And it's very light. It's filled with really just a sense of presence, a sense of being. And then let the breath gently lengthen here. And begin to add, small movements. And a little stretch, and then hugging the knees, and we'll come to the left side here. Are you ready? And coming to seated when you're ready here. And then take a moment, as we know, to establish our seated meditation position. We want to start our pranayama practice here this morning with Nadi Shodhan, alternate nostril breathing, nerve cleansing practice. And for those who may be newer on the call, we have about 20 now, probably 20 minutes of practice still up to go. A little breathing, a little meditation. So folding the index finger and middle finger into the palm of the hand, extending thumb and ring. Little exhale the breath, and then close the right nostril with the right thumb. Full yogic breath as you inhale through the left nostril. Get to the top of that breath. Take the ring finger, close the left nostril, exhale through the right. And then inhale through the right. Full breath in, yogic breath. Ring finger lifts, thumb closes, right exhale through the left nostril. That's one round. Just continue your own pacing here. Nadi Shodhan, nerve cleansing practice. Really in honor of new moon in Libra, the practice of Nadi Shodhan balances Ida and Pingala Nadi, the female and male channels. Heating and cooling systems, right brain and left brain. The inner gaze can lift into the third eye chakra, Agnya chakra. Just allowing the pranic energy to cycle through and create a kind of the inner imprint. Gently completing the round that you're on by exhaling out the left nostril. There's no hurries here. You just cycle through. This feeling. Then our next pranayama practice will be breath retention, Triband pranayama, the 3 lock practice with our directed dristi, our gaze, into the the center of the chest, behind the bottom part of the sternum, as we hold the breath in. As a reminder for the practice, or if it's new, we begin the inhale, the belly extends, but when the belly draws to the spine, we contract the pelvic floor, namely the anal sphincter muscle, draw that up, and then get to the very top of the inhale and release the chin down, lift the sternum, and kind of turn the corners of the mouth up to close the glottis, the back of the throat. And it's that at that juncture where you concentrate in the heart center. And you'll hold the breath for as long as comfortable for you, and then lift the chin and exhale. And that'll be our practice as time permits. So Tribandha Pranayam with breath retention, right? Gazing at Hridayam, it's called the heart center. You might even imagine Ram and Sita in the heart. So exhale the breath completely when you're ready, inhaling, and begin the practice. And then gently after your next exhale here, complete the round that you're on. Let your inner gaze, your inner drishti, just sustain itself in the heart center into Hridayam. It's the awareness is virtually placed in the heart center. So the gaze is sustained there, it's placed there, it's taken a seat in the heart. And then allow for the mantra of Om to come in rhythmically with your breathing as you inhale Om and then exhale Om. It's as if the awareness and the mantra are just streaming through and in to the heart. And just gently let the mantra fall away, sustain the gentle perception in the heart space here. And it's as if you transferred, if you will, the cognitive mind into the intuitive mind. Inviting a yin nature to produce understanding in the world. And gently, let's bring our hands back into Anjali Mudra. And let your intention appear here. Let its Shakti, its tattva, its energetic principle, be enjoined in the heart space. And then just put it in the blanket of the mantra of Om silently in the mind. And just gratitude for each one of you coming to your practice primarily, and gratitude for sharing that with me here on the Illuminated Insight yoga channel, YouTube channel here, and to the the practices and the teachings of yoga and all their just wonder and incredibleness. Namaste. Scoot here forward. Namaste, Val. So happy that you joined here. Namaste, Steph. So, thanks, friends, for that adventure. And I hope you have just an amazing, incredible day. And a little remember on the Venmo thing, it's helpful. And, be really kind of dialed in over the next month, really powerful time. Continue to come to the channel when that works. And Shanti Matyai, Shanti Matyai Namaha, Om Shanti Matyai Namaha is the mantra for the peace Devi, peace goddess. And, we're in this time where Ram and Ravana are just naturally clashing, and that's okay. And we're going to feed the energy of Ram, of that divine presence, of that divine being, versus the ego. So, all right, thanks, friends. We'll see you next time. Stay tuned, and love, peace always. Love, peace. Yep, that's what we'll do. Love and peace every day.